I declare the motion passed. Companies Amendment Number 2 Bill 2024.
會恢復香港中醫
This Council resumes the second reading debate on the Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong Bill. This bill seeks to prevent the unauthorized use of the title of Chinese Medicine Hospital Hong Kong and also prevent the unauthorized association with the hospital. Members who focus on this bill when they speak. Professor Chairman Kwong, Chairman of the Bills Committee on this bill, will first address the Council on the committee's report. Professor Chen. As the Chairman of the Bills Committee on the Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong Bill, I now report on the highlights of the BC's deliberations. This bill seeks to prohibit the unauthorized use of the title of and the unauthorized association by certain other means with the Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong, or CMHHK, and also amends the provisions of several other ordinances so that they will cover the CMHHK. The BC held one meeting with the administration and invited written submissions from the public on the bill. BC members generally support the bill. The administration addressed members' question over the reason for legislating specifically for the CMHK by explaining that doing so was a decision reached after assessing the risks and considering actual needs. This hospital would be the first to focus on Chinese medicine hospital services in Hong Kong. As our city's flagship CM institution, the hospital would have 5 missions: provision of government-subsidized and market-oriented healthcare services, training and education, research, collaboration, and creation of health values. The CMHHK would also serve as a change driver in close collaboration with the CM industry and stakeholders to drive the overall development of CM in Hong Kong, the Guangdong-Hong Kong-Macau Greater Bay Area, and the global community. Now, given the hospital's unique status and identity, the administration expected it to take a while for the public to get a clearer picture of the hospital's role and services after it opened. This hospital, in contrast to the hospital authority and other government healthcare providers that the public already knew well, would be at greater risk of having its name misused or misappropriated. Some private market operators may mislead the public one way or another by creating the impression that their services were provided by the Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong with government endorsement. Therefore, the administration saw the necessity of legislation to protect the title of this hospital. This is to safeguard public interest. Some members pointed out that certain existing institutions with names similar to that of the CMMHK may commit this offense under the future ordinance after it took effect. Members therefore suggested that the administration should set up a mechanism or lay down criteria for deciding whether an organization committed this offense. The administration explained that the protection for the CMMHK's title would kick in after the ordinance took effect. Given the ordinance's lack of retrospective effect, the offense of forming a body of persons that fell within the specified description under Section 2, Subsection 2 of the ordinance would not apply to groups already set up before the ordinance took effect. On the other hand, the specified description under Section 2, Subsection 3, if the offense of holding the office of a group of persons that fell within the specified description under Section 2, Subsection 3 happened or continued after the ordinance took effect, the administration would review the circumstances of every such case. The administration would take measures to prevent the title of the CMMHK from being abused by taking such steps as setting up an alert mechanism with the company's registry to block the registration of company names with unauthorized association with the CMMHK. To protect the public from being misled, members called for measures from the administration to help people tell whether a group had anything to do with the CMMHK after the ordinance took effect. The administration pledged extensive promotion after the ordinance took effect to tell the public about the offenses targeted by the legislation. Before the CMMHK opened, the Health Bureau and the hospital's operator would also conduct a series of publicity events. Information on this hospital's partner organizations would also be found on the official website of the CMMHK for public access. When suspicious cases came up, the Health Bureau and the CMMHK would put out clarification notices and consider whether law enforcement actions were needed for specific cases. Members were concerned whether the penalty under the bill had enough deterrent effect. The administration explained that it had considered other similar legislation and the gravity of this offense, with the conclusion that a fine at level 3 or 10,000 Hong Kong dollars would be appropriate. The administration would review the penalty in a timely way and adjust the level in light of circumstances. Neither the BC nor the administration will propose any amendment to the bill. This concludes my report on the BC's work. Now, here are my thoughts on the bill. Now, I want to first declare an interest. I'm a member of the board of the HKBU Chinese Medicine Hospital, but I have no pecuniary interest in the hospital. I'm delighted to see the resumption of the second reading of this bill, the Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong bill, so that we lay a solid legal foundation for the opening of this hospital in the end of this year. So one of the goals of this bill is to prevent the unauthorized use and unauthorized association by certain other ways with this hospital. These provisions will protect the exclusive use of the title of the hospital. We can guard against the malicious use and misuse of the title to mislead people for profit. But then I did an online search. Some existing institutions have names very similar to the title of this hospital. Non-local residents in particular may be misled. So after this bill is passed, I hope the government can take action to help the public tell this hospital from other institutions with very similar names. I hope the government can help people tell whether those organizations have to do with the hospital. And let's also put the information on the partner organizations of the future hospitals online. That is to prevent the public from being misled. The bill says that any unauthorized use of the title of the CMMHK and also any unauthorized association may be punished with a level at level 3. That's $10,000 in fines. I have no objection, but when criminals use the title of the hospital for their own criminal ends, a much larger sum may be involved. So once the bill is passed, the government should review the penalties in a timely way and adjust the levels of the fine so that we have enough of a deterrent effect. 17 other ordinances are also amended. Those are technical changes because of this bill. We want those ordinances to also apply to the future Chinese Medicine Hospital as well. Such changes are vital for the future operation of this hospital. That's why I support all those changes. This bill is a short bill, but many members signed up for the Bills Committee's work. This again shows everyone's attention to this hospital and everyone's support. I am pleased to see that I'm moved by that. With member support, this hospital will open in the end of this year and start delivering services. And that will be a milestone for Hong Kong's Chinese medicine services. With everyone's support, we will be able to achieve the all-round and high-quality development of Chinese medicine, and Hong Kong will help CM go global. I so submit. I support this bill.
Mr. Chen Xiu-hong, Deputy President, I speak in support of the Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong Bill. I support the second reading and the third reading of the bill. The 2014 Policy Address announced the setting up of the Chinese Medicine Hospital. In 2018, the Policy Address further announced that through sponsoring dedicated Chinese medicine services, Chinese medicine will be incorporated into our public healthcare system. Now, the future hospital will be named as the Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong. It will be a base for Chinese Western medicine collaboration, including outpatient and specialist services. Now, the CMHHK will be operating on a public-private partnership model. The government will provide the land and supply the information infrastructure as well as the furnishing of the hospital. Now, besides the initial investment by the government, the subsidized medical services to be provided by the hospital as well as the training costs will also be borne by the government. Now, through an open tender, the Hong Kong Baptist University has been selected as the contractor to operate the hospital. Now, a company limited by guarantee will be established as the operator to manage, operate, and maintain the CM hospital. Now, the CM hospital does not belong to a private or public hospital under the law, nor is it a private healthcare facility under the remit of the Private Healthcare Facility Ordinance. So this bill is very important for the smooth operation of the CM hospital. First of all, it will protect the title of CMHHK and prevents the abuse or misappropriation of the title of CMHHK and prevents other healthcare institutions from drawing a link with the CMHHK. And also, the bill will apply the CMHHK, will put the CMHHK under the remit of the relevant ordinances. Now, by legislation, we can prevent the unauthorized use of the title of CMHHK. Now, there are some government-run healthcare facilities, including the District Healthcare Express and the Maternity Health Center. There are no legislation to protect the misappropriation of their titles. So during the scrutiny process, I asked the government whether there were cases in other places where healthcare institutions use the name of the Chinese Medicine Hospital and offer substandard services. Now, according to the government, the CM Hospital is the first hospital in Hong Kong with a sole emphasis on Chinese medicine services. There is no precedent. Now, given the scope of services provided by the CMHK, there is the possibility that some stakeholders in the market will make use of this opportunity to mislead the public to suggest that the operation is linked to the CM hospital. Now, the government said that the public is familiar with DHCs and the maternal and child health centers, and there is less likelihood of abuse for these titles. Now, if recently there is a suspected unlicensed operation of a medical group, the medical group has been established for more than 10 years. If not for the sudden closure, no one would suspect that it is not a licensed institution under the law. That's the Private Healthcare Facilities Ordinance. Now, the CM Hospital is a brand new establishment in Hong Kong. It will be a flagship organization for integrated Western and Chinese medicine, so the government should prepare ahead to protect public interest. Now, with the variety we have in medical services, The eye hospital and children hospital under the HK, as well as other specialist hospital, may be exposed to the risk of their title being misappropriated. I urge the government to conduct a review on whether similar legislations should be introduced to enhance protection. Now, according to Clause 2 of the bill, without the consent of the Secretary for Health, a person must not hold the office of director or any other office of, be an organizer of, or otherwise work in connection with a body of persons that falls within the specified description. Now, I ask the question that if there is an organization which holds a name similar to the CMHK before the passage of the bill, will the operator of that organization be caught on the wrong side of the law after the passage of the bill? Now, by a simple search on the internet, you can find many institutions with names similar to that of the CMHK. Now, according to the administration, in the interim, the administration will conduct an assessment on the cases which are likely to cause misunderstanding. If there is a likelihood of misunderstanding, the government will approach the body corporates to discuss the matter. If they want to keep the name, they need to obtain the consent or authorization from the Secretary for Health. Now, the administration stressed that these bodies will not be outlawed after the passage of the bill. I understand this. That's these body of persons. However, we cannot make use of the aforesaid clause to address these situations like those for persons holding the office of director or being the organizer of these body of persons. Now, for a director in a board in a company with a name similar to that of CMHK, the safest way is for them to resign from the board. I think the bill's provision is oversimplified and it may lead to a lot of disputes. Now, the government may deal with these issues by way of a direction. Now, I hope the government would not neglect the issue on the operability of the bill simply because there are very few parties likely to be affected. Thank you. Dr. Hui Simon Lee. Thank you, Deputy President. I declare my interest. I'm a director on a center for developing comprehensive Chinese medicine in Hong Kong. It is a voluntary and non-profit organization. Now, the CMHK is funded by the government, with the HKBU as the operator. It is not subject to the Hospital Authority Ordinance Cap 113. It is not a public hospital managed by the HA, nor is it a private healthcare facility subject to Cap 633 Private Healthcare Facilities Ordinance. Now, the Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong Bill's objective is to protect the title or the exclusive use of the title of CMHHK, and also to make technical amendments to various enactments to fit the operational needs of the CMHHK. At present, the government has not legislated to protect the title of public hospitals or other clinics. So why is the government doing this? Why is this additional layer of protection needed for the Chinese medicine hospital? Now, the public and private hospitals in Hong Kong mostly do not have the word Hong Kong in the name. For example, the eye hospital and the children hospital. These are specialist hospitals with a specific service target. Now, of course, I suggest to the government that this is an opportune time to conduct a review on the protection offered to the titles of these organizations, with a view to protecting their uniqueness and preventing misappropriation of their titles. The consideration is the same as protecting the title of the CMHK. CMHHK. Now, the Chinese Medicine Hospital is a new component in the healthcare system in Hong Kong. As the first hospital providing exclusive Chinese medicine services, it has its own strategic position and mission. In the private market, there are a number of healthcare institutions providing CM services. But the CM hospital is different from those organizations. The CM hospital is the flagship body of the CM sector in Hong Kong. It has the missions of being a change driver and a pioneer. It is a trailblazer. Now, with Hong Kong's position under one country, two systems, and enjoying the support of the country and our connection with the world, the CM hospital can make use of the brand Hong Kong to promote the use of CM to the world. So that's why Clause 2 of the bill protects the exclusive use of the title of the Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong to prevent misunderstanding and misleading. It will protect the public interest. Now, I hope that after the passage of the bill, measures will be implemented to protect the use of the title, and the government should also step up publicity and education about the importance of CM hospital, as well as the use of CM services as a treasure in the Chinese culture. Now, I support the bill. Thank you.
Mr. Lam Chun-sing. Thank you, Madam Deputy. We will have this hospital focusing on Chinese medicine services. This will mark a major breakthrough. Starting from the end of this year, the Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong will become operational in phases. This bill will ensure the smooth operation of the hospital. There are mainly two aspects to the bill. One is to protect the exclusive use of the title of the hospital. We don't want any misuse or unauthorized association of the title by people who seek to mislead the public. This hospital will advance CM development in Hong Kong. There will also be work for the hospital on the global level because this hospital will help CM go global. That's why the reputation of the hospital is so important, and that warrants legislative provisions and penalties to achieve deterrent effect. That way, criminals won't be using the title of the hospital to defraud people. The bill also covers technical amendments to other ordinances. Those ordinances have to do with other healthcare providers in Hong Kong, so that those provisions will also apply to the Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong bill. These other ordinances include the Employment Ordinance, the Employees' Compensation Ordinance, and the Pneumoconiosis and Mesothelioma Compensation Ordinance. Hospitals in those contexts will also cover the Chinese Medicine Hospital. That's to ensure full protection for employees' rights. Say an employee falls sick or sustains an injury during work, they go to the Chinese Medicine Hospital. The employee should get the same benefits and care as they do at any other public hospital. This bill is also in line with the Employment Ordinance, a change made in 2006, meaning recognizing a doctor's note. That means a doctor's note from a CM practitioner will also be recognized. Now, there will also be different specialties at the Chinese Medicine Hospital. So for someone who needs orthopedic care, they will get the care at the Chinese Medicine Hospital. So I support these technical changes. The technical changes make sure that employees seeking care can get what they need. The Chinese Medicine Hospital will play a role, and I hope this future CMHHK will provide more government-subsidized services. We have a pilot rehabilitation scheme for workplace-related injuries. Let's also cover the services provided by the CMHHK. I so submit and support the bill. Mr. Chen Pui Lang. Thank you, Madam Deputy. The government funds the Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong. This hospital will commence operation in phases starting from the end of this year. That will mark a major breakthrough for CM in Hong Kong. This hospital will have a major mission to fulfill. We have primary healthcare. We're now moving on to the next level, secondary and tertiary levels. We're also leveraging our existing edge in CM so that we can promote Chinese medicine not just in Hong Kong but also in the GBA and globally. This hospital will have a unique status and a unique role. And that's why we have this bill to protect the title of the hospital. That way we guard against unauthorized use or unauthorized association with the title. This will be Hong Kong's first Chinese medicine hospital. The hospital will play a key part of Hong Kong's healthcare system. We want to prevent private market operators from misusing the title. That's why we need the legislation, and this will help the public get a clear sense of what the hospital will deliver. Now, since COVID, there has been growing public demand for public Chinese medicine services, but much work remains ahead in terms of promoting CM. So I hope this hospital can play that role, and let's raise awareness and get support for CM services. Now, this hospital will be run under the public-private model. So this is neither a public hospital within the meaning of CAP 113, the Hospital Authority Ordinance, nor within the meaning of a private healthcare institution under CAP 633, the Private Healthcare Facilities Ordinance. This bill also contains amendments to other ordinances. This is to ensure that people seeking care at the CMHHK will get the same care they do at other hospitals. This is also in line with the actual operational needs. There will also be solid legal footing for the day-to-day operation of the CMHHK. Now, this hospital will be a key part of CM development in Hong Kong. This hospital will provide more options in terms of professional CM services. This will help take pressure off the public healthcare system. This hospital will also lay a solid foundation for CM's long-term development in Hong Kong. Now, on the inclusion of this hospital under the voluntary health insurance scheme, I hope the government can offer greater clarity over the pricing and service model so that the insurance sector can be prepared, and then we can see the coverage of this hospital under the VHIS, and then we can serve the public. As so submit, I support this bill. Mr. Kwok Wai-Keung. I'm here on behalf of the FTU. We support this bill. This hospital shows CM is now formally part of our healthcare system, and this is a milestone. The government has always been resolved to promote CM. Back in the 2014 policy address, the government announced that it would set aside land for a Chinese medicine hospital, and then in the 2018 policy address, funding was announced to include CM in Hong Kong's healthcare system. The Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong reflect this long-standing policy goal. So this bill does three things. One, exclusive use of the title so that we prevent others from using the title to mislead people. And we're also amending 17 other existing ordinances. We're making the necessary technical changes. This is to put this hospital on an equal footing with other existing hospitals, so people get equal protection when they are looking for subsidies or allowances for receiving hospital care. And we're also making changes to align references to this hospital. We want to ensure consistency. The reason for this alignment is that this hospital will have a unique position. This hospital will be run under a public-private partnership. The government funds the construction, and then the operator is a company set up under the Hong Kong Baptist University. That means the CMHHK will neither be a hospital managed by the Hospital Authority under Cap 113, nor a private healthcare facility under Cap 633. That means what generally applies to public hospitals does not apply to this Chinese medicine hospital by default. We want to ensure the smooth operation of this hospital. That's why we need all these changes. CM has been in Hong Kong for a long time. Even back in 1950, the FTU set up the Thirst Workers Clinic. That's to address a problem with costly private healthcare in the post-World War II era. We provided affordable healthcare to workers, and then in 1955 we set up the third CM clinic. The FTU has been working on this to benefit people. The Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong Bill represents a few simple technical amendments, but this bill will be important for the provision of quality CM services for people. This hospital will be a flagship institution for CM services. This will be a hospital focusing on CM services and integrate the Chinese Western medicine services as it provides more choices for people in healthcare. This hospital will also promote CM development in Hong Kong and the GBA. I hope this hospital can commence operation smoothly in the end of this year so that we open a new chapter in CM services. I support this bill. Thank you.
Mr. Benson Look. Deputy President, I speak in support of the Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong Bill. I'm also a member of the Bills Committee. I took part in the deliberation process. Let me give you background of the bill. The government announced in the 2018 policy address that Chinese medicine will be included in the public healthcare system through special subsidized Chinese medicine services, including inpatient and outpatient services. Now, this is something that the Chinese medicine sector in Hong Kong has strived for over the years. The Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong will be built. This is funded by the Hong Kong government, and under a PPP model, the contractor will be tasked to running this hospital. This bill make provisions to prohibit the use of the title Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong without authority. It also prevents unauthorized association by certain other means with the said title. So it safeguards the exclusive use of the title. As the first Chinese Medicine Hospital in Hong Kong, members of the public may not be aware of the services that will be provided by the genuine Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong. To avoid unnecessary misunderstanding, there is a need to enact legislation to protect the unauthorized, to prohibit the unauthorized use of the title. The BAP and myself fully support this bill. The Chinese medicine sector is growing, and there are more and more services rolled out by the sector. This bill seeks to prohibit the unauthorized use of the title CMMHK so that we can prevent misappropriation of the title through which deception can be made out. Of course, after passage of the bill, the administration should continue to mount publicity. There should also be law enforcement. I note that before phased commencement of operation in December 2025 of the CMMHK, the Health Bureau and the CMMHK will mount a series of publicities for members of the public to learn fully the services to be rolled out. I understand that the CMMHK will face its operation phase the commencement of this operation. The first phase will begin in the end of the year. I hope that the administration will give honor to its promise. In September this year, they should publicize the fees to be charged. There should also be more details about the promotion prospects for Chinese medicine practitioners and nurses. The CMHK forms part of the Chinese medicine development blueprint to be promulgated. It also marks an important step to integrated Western Chinese medicine. So I support this bill. I so submit.
Ms. Connie Lam. Deputy President, I speak in support of the Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong bill. Since the return of Hong Kong to the country, we have established a regulatory system for Chinese medicine practitioners and Chinese medicine. Chinese medicine has become an indispensable part of our healthcare system. Now, by the end of this year, we will finally have our first Chinese medicine hospital. This is a historical milestone for CM developments in Hong Kong. It is also an important step to employ Chinese medicine to protect public health. Now, I have a lot of expectation for the CM hospital in terms of CM services, teaching and training, as well as development of Chinese medicine. Now, I would like to highlight some situation which surfaced during the deliberation of the Bills Committee to the administration's attention. Now, the bill will prohibit unauthorized use of the title of CMHHK or use a name which will lead to association with the hospital. Now, I think the provisions are rather vague. Now, in the future, if the clinic has the word Hong Kong as its name, it would mislead the public into believing that it is government-run. So I'm pleased to see that the government will offer a transitional period for these cases. In the future, I think the government should step up inspection, regulation, and publicity on the use of similar titles to protect patients' interest. Now, CM services affordability is closely related to people's well-being. Now, there is a consensus between the government and the insurance sector that CM hospitalization services will be incorporated into the voluntary healthcare insurance schemes. Hospitalization in the CM hospital will be covered by insurance. This is a great step. By realizing this coverage, we can lessen the financial burden of patients choosing CM services while promoting the use of CM services. Now, I hope the government would tell us the progress of the discussion with the insurers and also the coverage of the insurance schemes and whether outpatient CM services would also be covered. At the same time, the government should ensure that the incorporation of CM services into insurance plans will not affect the burden on smaller insurers. Now, the CM hospital will become an important base for research of new Chinese medicines and patented Chinese medicine products. However, their safety has always been a concern. Now, with the establishment of the CM hospital, we hope that we will have our own standard soon. The CM hospital should be a flagpole for the standard of Chinese medicine. It will boost patients' confidence as well as helping the internationalization of CM services. There should be KPIs and timetables set for R&D conducted by the Chinese Medicine Hospital to ensure that these results can be transferred and benefits the public. Now, the commencement of the CM hospital marks an important step. The initial steps would be the most difficult. There should be a clear roadmap to ensure that the CM hospital is not only serving patients in Hong Kong, but also set a standard for Chinese Western medicine collaboration. The hospital should remain in touch with the academia and the patients to ensure sustainable development. I so submit I support the bill. Ms. Nixie Lam. Deputy President, I speak in support of the Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong bill. The commencement of the hospital is an important step for CM's development. Besides a clinic, it will also serve the functions of transferring research results and R&D. It marks the official incorporation of CM into our public healthcare system. A series of statutory arrangements has been provided for by the bill, in particular protecting the exclusive use of the title CMHHK. Without authorization, if someone uses a title that so closely resembles the title of CMHHK, capable of misleading the public, they may be fined a level 3 fine. Now, there are in-depth considerations behind the move. In the future, the CM hospital will be run by the HK rather than the government. That's why the CMHK needs to obtain a legal status equivalent to other public hospitals to discharge its functions. That's why a number of other local legislations in relation to healthcare institutions will also be amended. Now, back to my point about the exclusive use of the title. In the market, there are indeed many clinics with names closely resembling the title of CMHHK. The ordinary public, in particular the elderly people, will have a difficult time distinguishing the titles. So this bill will not only protect the title of CMHHK, but also provides for a mechanism to distinguish the title. Now, the administration has clarified that the bill will only apply to newly established clinics after the passage of the bill. However, for existing clinics with a misleading name, the government can also take actions. Now, after the passage of the bill, there are two tasks that the government must do. Firstly, we can't just rely on the penalty. We need to step up publicity and education to strengthen public's understanding of the real name of the CMHHK. Second, we need to enhance collaboration and communication with the CM sector to prevent anyone from exploiting the loopholes and deliberate misleading. Thank you.
Does any other member wish to speak? If not, I now call upon the Secretary for Health to reply. Then the debate will come to a close. Secretary. President, I thank Professor Chairman Kwong, Chairman of the Bills Committee, members, the Electoral Secretariat, the Legal Advisor, the Department of Justice, and my colleagues in the Health Bureau for their hard work in scrutinizing the bill. I also thank members who have spoken in support of the bill during the second reading debates, as well as their invaluable insights on the development of the Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong. The bill received its first and second reading in February this year. The main proposals include the following. 1. Prohibiting the unauthorized use of the title of and the unauthorized association by certain other means with the Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong. 2. Amending certain provisions in various enactments so that those provisions applicable to private healthcare institutions or public hospitals also cover the Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong. And 3, making a related amendment. The administration consulted the Legislative Council Panel on Health Services on the framework of the bill in October last year and received the panel's support. The Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong will commence services in phases at the end of this year, marking an important milestone in the development of Chinese medicine in Hong Kong. As the flagship Chinese medicine institution, the Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong will undertake 5 key development missions, including providing government-subsidized and market-oriented healthcare services, training and education, research, collaboration, and creating health values. The Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong will also serve as a change driver in close collaboration with the Chinese medicine industry and stakeholders to promote the overall development of Chinese medicine in Hong Kong with the Greater Bay Area and the international community. Constructed by the government, the Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong was entrusted to Hong Kong Baptist University as the contractor through the tendering process in 2021. In accordance with the service deed, the contractor has established a company limited by guarantee to act as the operator, which will be responsible for the management, operation, and maintenance of the Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong. To prevent the name of Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong from being misappropriated in a way that misleads the public into believing that certain clinical services are provided by or recognized by the CMHHK, the bill specifies the Chinese name of the hospital located at No. 1 Pak Shing Kok Road, Tseung Kwan O, New Territories as Hong-Kong Zhong Yi Yi Yun, and the English name as the Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong. Provisions will be included to protect the exclusive use of these names by the hospital. Any unauthorized use of the name or association with it upon conviction will be subject to a level 3 fine. That's 10,000 Hong Kong dollars. The Bills Committee has inquired about the reasons for enacting legislation specifically for CMHHK to protect the exclusive use of the title. In response, the administration explained that the legislative proposal to safeguard the exclusive use of the name was based on risk assessment and practical needs. As the first hospital in Hong Kong focusing on Chinese medicine services, the CMHHK has a unique status and institutional identity. Being a completely new institution without an operational history, the public will need time to understand its role and services, making it relatively more susceptible to the risk of name misappropriation. For instance, some operators in the private sector may use similar names or other means to mislead the public into believing their services are related to the CMHHK or endorsed by the government. Therefore, we consider it necessary to legislate to protect his title, thereby safeguarding the public interest. To complement the implementation of the bill, the government and the operator will also introduce a series of supporting measures, including the following: establishing a notification mechanism with the company's registry so that registration of company names with unauthorized association with CMHHK will be rejected, conducting a series of promotional activities by the Health Bureau and the operator prior to the phased commencement of services at the CMHHK to enhance public awareness, publishing information on the CMHHK's official website about the partner organizations for public reference, and issuing public announcements to clarify any suspected cases of misleading use or misappropriation of the title, and considering enforcement action on a case-by-case basis, and reviewing the penalties under the relevant legislation as appropriate. As a government-regulated hospital under the Health Bureau, CMHHK is neither a public hospital as defined by the Hospital Authority Ordinance Cap 113, nor a private healthcare facility as defined under the Private Healthcare Facilities Ordinance Cap 633. References to hospitals in existing legal provisions only include public hospitals or private healthcare facilities and do not apply to the CMHHK. Therefore, the bill proposes a number of technical amendments to ensure that provisions in other relevant legislation, which generally apply to private healthcare facilities or public hospitals, also apply to CMHHK in similar circumstances to meet its operational needs. These provisions mainly involve employees' rights, exemptions or exceptions, or defense. For example, there is an amendment to ensure that members of the public who are hospitalized at the CMHHK due to illness or work injuries can enjoy the same statutory protections and benefits as those hospitalized in public hospitals or private health care facilities such as sickness allowance. There is also another amendment to ensure that the CMHK, like public hospitals or private healthcare facilities, will implement a full smoking ban. Meanwhile, the government has established a corresponding monitoring mechanism for the CMHK, including the application procedures for its operational license and operational requirements. The service deed also stipulates comprehensive requirements covering hospital systems and structures, governance, quality, and risk management to ensure the safety of patients at the CMHK. The establishment of a hospital primarily providing Chinese medicine services represents a major breakthrough in Hong Kong's healthcare system. Considering that more hospitals will provide similar services in the future, the government plans to formulate a long-term and appropriate legislative framework and regulatory system to govern healthcare institutions that primarily provide Chinese medicine services based on the actual operational experience of the hospital over time. The administration aims to safeguard the exclusive use of the title, the Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong, through the bill, and to make technical amendments to other relevant legislation that generally applies to public hospitals or private healthcare facilities, so that they also apply to the CMHK in similar circumstances. I urge members to support the bill. I so submit. Thank you.
I now put the question to you that the Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong be read the second time. Will those in favor please raise their hands? Those against, please raise their hands. I think the question is agreed by a majority of the members present. I declare the motion passed. The Chinese Medicine Hospital of Hong Kong. The Council now becomes Committee of the Whole Council to consider the Chinese Medicine Hospital